Welcome to another session of our video lessons. Last week we were on break because of the examination, and now we are back again. Today we are starting with a new topic, Ghana's cooperation with other nations. And we'll be looking specifically today at cooperation, its benefits and problems. Cooperation, its benefits and problems. And this is Form 2, Social Studies. That is Social Studies for JHS2, and it is me, your facilitator, Ephraim Kwame Akakpo. By the end of this lesson, I am expectant that the student will be able to define cooperation and identify the types of cooperation, explain ways by which Ghana cooperates with other nations, and highlight the benefits and problems that come with cooperation. Cooperation is the act of coming together and working to achieve a common goal. And cooperation can take two forms. It may be bilateral cooperation or multilateral cooperation. And when we say bilateral cooperation, this is cooperation between two parties, two countries, two groups, two persons. So it has to do with two. Multilateral cooperation involves more than two parties. So it may be three countries, three continents, three cities, three towns, three schools, three whatever. So cooperation that is between two people is bilateral cooperation, and multilateral is between three or more. So it may be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000. It is multilateral cooperation. Now, in what ways does Ghana cooperate with other nations? In what ways does Ghana cooperate with other nations? Let me correct this quickly, then we move on. So, one way through which Ghana cooperates with other nations is through political cooperations. So, examples of this political cooperation is the UN, the AU, and political cooperation has to do with cooperation that is aimed at seeking the collective political good of member states to ensure good governance all over the world. Another way through which Ghanaians or Ghana cooperates with other nations is through economic cooperation. And one very common example of economic cooperation is the ECOWAS, that's Economic Community of West African States. And through this kind of cooperation, member states seek to address issues concerning the economic well-being of their members, in the sense that they try to bring out policies and plans that will help their members to grow economically. Then cultural cooperation, through cultural exchange programs, festivals, and so on, Ghana cooperates with other nations. Then educational cooperation. Ghana cooperates with other nations through education. For example, Ghanaian students are sent to Cuba to go and study medicine. So Ghanaian students studying medicine abroad. Then other countries also send their students here to Ghana to study other courses. And so there is that policies of transfers within universities among these member countries, and so on. Then cooperation through Ghanaian foreign missions abroad. Yes. So another way through which we cooperate with other nations is by building our embassies and sending Ghanaian high commissioners or Ghanaian representatives or ambassadors to some of these countries. So through our Ghanaian foreign missions abroad or our embassies abroad and high commissions, we are able to cooperate with other nations. Then cooperation through peacekeeping operations. Another way in which Ghanaians or Ghana cooperate with other nations is through peacekeeping operations. Ghanaian troops, that is Ghanaian military men, soldiers, naval officers, Air Force officers, and so on, are sent onto peacekeeping missions to the UN groups or the AU groups to keep peace in warring countries like Liberia, like Congo, like Syria, and so on. We come together. Are you okay? We have explained that cooperation has to do with coming together to achieve a common goal. When Ghanaian troops are sent on peacekeeping operations together with soldiers from other countries, that is cooperation. Then cooperation through sports. So Ghana engages in sporting activities like the African Cup of Nations, World Cup, and so on, African Champions League, and others. All these they engage in with other countries, and that is cooperation through sports. Then we have cooperation through joint projects. So Ghana cooperates with other countries through joint projects. And one common example you can mention is the West African gas pipeline, in which Ghana cooperates with countries like Nigeria, like Cote d'Ivoire, and so on to construct this gas pipeline running along the shores of West Africa. And it's a great project, and sometimes projects like this cannot be done by one country. But when these countries come together collectively, they are able to achieve this common goal. I hope that is clear. Very good. Now, what are the benefits of cooperation? One benefit of cooperation is international assistance. Cooperation provides opportunities for less developed countries to access financial assistance from other nations. So, in the UN, countries like China, US, UK, Japan, Italy, and so on, Brazil, who are part of the United Nations organization or United Nations, give financial assistance to the less developed countries like Ghana, Congo, Togo, and so on. So these are some benefits. Then cooperation gives or provides a wider market for member countries. It provides expanded market base for members to sell their goods. So locally manufactured goods in Ghana, for example, can be sold across the West African sub-region because we cooperate. That is through the ECOWAS. And policies are being put in place to ensure that even there will be the free movement of goods and services within West African countries. So it creates a wider market. Then also, cooperation also creates access to international funds. For example, members of the United Nations can get financial assistance from international funding organizations like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. So Ghana, for example, has had its fair share of funding from IMF on several occasions, and the World Bank. Then you have peace and security as a benefit of cooperation. When we cooperate, when we live together, when we are able to build good relationship among countries, it helps to achieve peace, unity, and security, and also stability among member countries. So because of the friendly relationship between these countries, it has reduced drastically the emergence of war, conflicts, and so on. And so most member countries are in very good terms. So cooperation has really, really helped the global peace and security. Then peaceful settlement of disputes is an advantage or a benefit of cooperation. Because of cooperation, member countries have the advantage of having a common avenue for peaceful settlement of dispute. For example, the the Senegal-Guinea border dispute was settled at the African Union when Ghana and La Cote d'Ivoire had disputes over the borders of their territorial waters. It was settled at the UN level, and so on. There are so many other benefits, like benefit from technical assistance, benefit from joint projects. Then also, member countries form part of the global fight against bad things. And it also helps to maintain friendly relations. Apart from all the benefits, there are still some problems associated with cooperation. Overdependence on developed countries. The less developed countries depend too much on the developed countries, and this gives them too much burden. Then dumping of substandard goods. Unfortunately, the less privileged countries become a dumping site for substandard goods. So fake goods, low quality goods, used clothes and used products are dumped into especially African countries and some Asian countries. Then imposition of conditionalities, irrespective of the fact that the developed countries help the less developed countries, they add certain conditionalities that make things difficult for the less developed countries. Then increase in crime rates. Because of cooperation, there is increase in crime rates, especially internet fraud, and then banking sector crime, money laundering, and others. It's very, very much on the rise because people are able to move from one region to the other freely due to cooperation. And so when they commit a crime in one region, they are able to move to another region to hide. And this makes policing very difficult. Then there is the issue of health risk or transmission of diseases. Because of cooperation, our borders are open. People move from one country to the other. And so when there is outbreak of disease, it is able to transfer from one, or is able to transmit from one country to another, or from one state to another, or from one continent to another. A very good example is the outbreak of the coronavirus, which started in Asia, China, and now has spread throughout all the world because people traveled from one point to the other, carrying the virus that gives the disease. Then there are financial challenges also, like in every other place. The introduction of foreign cultures and lifestyle is another challenge or problem of cooperation. So, you see, though cooperation has its good sides, it is not devoid of bad sides. But the most important thing is that it has more benefits than problems. I hope you have learned a lot today, and I wish to advise you that you go get your textbooks and read widely on this topic to get a more in-depth understanding of the topic. But until we meet again, as a test of your knowledge on what we have learned so far, you answer the following questions. What is cooperation? Identify 2 ways through which Ghana cooperates with other nations, and then state 2 benefits of cooperation. This brings us to the end of our lesson. Keep observing all the COVID-19 safety protocols, and stay at home, and above all, keep on learning. I wish you good luck. Bye-bye.